Alright guys, Manchester United have just beaten Aston Villa in the Carabao Cup fourth round, I think it was, and yeah, definitely a game of two halves. First half, dull as dishwater, not a lot happened at all. United probably had the more possession, but didn't do an awful lot with it, to be completely honest, and the most exciting part of the game was probably Douglas Luiz nearly scoring from a corner again for the second round running in the Carabao Cup, nearly his third of the season directly from corners, which I mean, I don't think that's ever been said in football before, to be honest. But yeah, second half, completely different game. 2 minutes into the half, Watkins scores a goal on the broke through, and dinks it over Dubravka, who made one of his first appearances for United. I think he's played a few times actually in cup competitions, but he's obviously not David De Gea. United responded instantly. It was like some sort of like NFL turnover where ball just gets played back, played over the top, gets squared to Martial by Rashford or Bruno, I can't remember who it was. But yeah, really good response from United to get back on level terms. However, Villa go back in front again. Leon Bailey gets subbed on for them, makes an instant impact, heads it across goal. Dalot can't react quickly and just ends up volleying the ball into his own net. And once again, United responded well. This time, Tyrone Mings it was who made an instant impact off the bench. I can't say that word today, instant impact. And yeah, sort of slips over trying to get to the ball. Rashford takes full advantage, takes it past him, and takes his time and puts it into the back of the net. But the third goal that Villa conceded, United's third, scored by Bruno, was just calamitous. I don't know what on earth Robin Olsen was doing with that pass. Gives the ball away far too easily, and it eventually gets played to Bruno, takes the shot off, takes a small deflection off Mings, goes in, and yeah, Robin Olsen, like a minute before that, had even made a mistake trying to catch the ball, like a simple catch. He's not a keeper I rate at all. I remember him having a couple of good games for Sweden a few years ago at the World Cup, I think it might have been. But other than that, I haven't been impressed with him at all. In fact, I remember probably the last time he played at Old Trafford, it was about 18 months ago for Everton, and he had a calamitous game in that one as well. Not a keeper I rate at all, to be completely honest. And yeah, the fourth goal, brilliant ball by Garnacho for McTominay. And Garnacho made a huge difference. In fact, the game was partially changed by substitutions. I thought Villa, they made a couple of good substitutions in bringing Leon Bailey on. He made a bit of a difference, but they also made a few ones that didn't help the team so much. With I thought Ezri Konsa had a decent game. I don't know why he was the one that got hooked off in the team. I suppose it could be that he was the only one who starts regularly for Villa, so didn't want to play 90 minutes back to back, so fair enough. But still, I would have kept him on because it's a game Villa wanted to win, I think. But yeah, they went for a slightly different system, Aston Villa. Over the weekend, we saw them play Buendia and Bailey in like quite an attacking formation. They had Dendoncker and Douglas Luiz sitting, but they had like a front four of Ramsey, Bailey, Buendia and Watkins. But for this game, Ings, McGinn and Boubacar Kamara all came back into the team. And I thought they all played quite well. They weren't getting on the ball very much, but they were very well disciplined defensively in terms of knowing their position. And they did, catch United out early on in the second half. But in the end, defensive errors and just United's quality, to be fair, just shone through. United, I haven't given them enough praise so far because they in attack they were very good tonight. And that involves pretty much all of their players. I thought Rashford was man of the match. Garnacho was brilliant when he came on. The substitution, all of the subs made an impact. Eriksen, Casemiro allowed McTominay to push on a bit more and get the fourth. Fernandes had quite a good game, one of his best performances I've seen this season. And even Martial took his goal well, got in the right position at the right time. So yeah, really positive performance from United. Langer as well had a good game. There were just some really good performances. The only player I thought had a bit of another nothing game for United was Donny van de Beek. He was poor at the weekend and he didn't do a great deal in the first half tonight either. So I think unless he sort of pulls his finger out a little bit, he is going to be, I don't know, running out of time a little bit at United, because he didn't do loads on loan at Everton at the back end of last season. And like people have often said about Van de Beek in like the 2.5 years he's been at United now, he needs more game time, he's not getting a consistent run of games. That's been the criticism. But when he has played, has he done an awful lot? He hasn't really. And I think, yeah, he's not done enough. I don't know if it's down to the system doesn't suit him, but he's playing in a similar position that he did play for Ajax 4 years ago. So yeah, it might just be a case of he's not suited to the English game, which I could understand, to be honest, because English and Dutch football, two very different types of games. English football is just so fast and powerful, physical. And yeah, it might not be suited to him. He isn't, the most physical footballer ever. He's a technically gifted player, but not one who's going to knock his opponents over. But yeah, it was an overall positive game for United. I think the only criticisms you can make really was it was quite easy for Villa at times to get through their defence, but I think you could also make the argument that was just how the game was, because United were doing the same to Villa. So yeah, it was quite a back and forth game in the second half. And also United didn't have their best team out, did they? They had some of their first teams out, but they were evidently missing David De Gea, Lisandro Martinez, Casemiro and Eriksen didn't start. Luke Shaw, well, Madison wasn't bad, but Luke Shaw is the starting left back at the moment. So yeah, they were missing a few players, to be fair to United. But yeah, they're through to the next round. I think they've got Burnley at home. I've just watched the draw. I think they got Burnley at home. City v Liverpool's obviously the standout tie. Not looking forward to that as a Liverpool fan, but yeah, United, you'd think they should beat Burnley at home. I mean, Burnley, they play a more attractive style of football under Vincent Kompany, but it'll probably be better for them in the long run. But it also, maybe for the bigger teams coming up against them, it probably makes it slightly easier, I would have thought, in terms of, like, no one ever likes playing Sean Dyche's Burnley, do they? Because you're in for a tough day at the office, physical game that they're gonna try and stop you from playing neat, free-flowing football. It's gonna be lump it long to Chris Wood and Ashley Barnes. So yeah, it might be slightly easier than it would have been last season for United, but yeah, it was a brilliant second half to watch tonight's game. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.